Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare here again with you on the 28th of June, 2023. I'm here with psychic medium and remote viewer, Liz Cross. How are we doing today, Liz?
Oh, good, thank you. We are bracing ourselves for the 110-degree heat wave that's coming.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've currently got rain, so we're all right.
Oh, well, we've gone from one extreme, which is a very cold June, very mild, to the other with no in between. So, yeah, we're trying to get as much stuff done because we don't know how long it's going to last. It's going to last several days.
Right. Okay. Right. Hold on a minute. So this is an interesting, hopefully it'll be an interesting one. Let me just do it the other way around. Right. Okay. So this is this probe is it's going to be about finance, cryptos, and things like that. But I'm going to put out there an idea, plus comment on some current things that are happening, and let's see how we go. And then we're going to do some probing at the end to see in the future whether this is going to all come to fruition or not. So we're going to start with a couple of things. One, America is still the largest economy in the world, and America basically wants everybody to be vested in American-based products. So anything that's dollar denominated, which is based in the US, they are coming up with reasons why the American public really need to think about keeping their money all the time in American stocks, bonds, equities, whatever. As long as they're US based, as long as they're denominated in dollars, then you are doing what your government wants you to do. What your government don't want you to do is invest in alternative things that are outside their control, mainly cryptocurrency. So you're going to find a lot more regulation and a lot more problems coming on. Most of the Americans that this is going to affect are not the poorest of society, because the government don't care about those, but the ones that earn somewhere between, have an annual income of, 70, 80,000 to about $200,000, which is the majority of Americans. These people are going to have more trouble having access to certain things, and are stuck with the let's just talk about cryptos for a minute, are stuck with the retail side of Binance US, Kraken, Coinbase, and things like that. They don't really have access to OTC, over-the-counter trades, that the rich do. So they're going to be stuck in retail land all the way through the summer, which is the whole point of this. And they're going to make it very difficult for people to get out of the system, and they're going to make it increasingly difficult as the summer comes on into fall.
Are you talking about the crypto system?
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't want people out of the system, and cryptos is not their system. So they're going to make it very hard for Americans, not the seriously rich, or the rich, if you like, they know how to do and have so many financial advisors and things like that, not just mainstream advisors, but they know how to access the over-the-counter sides of cryptos and things like that. So in other words, they know how to buy a lot of these products that are, denied to the rest of people. I'm generalizing, and this is a broad overview, but this is where this is going. They don't want the American market. is something they're trying to control big time. Now, if I could just park that there for a minute and go over to China a bit. China has a problem with its economy, and China's biggest competition is not, believe it or not, America, but Japan. Japan has been printing like anything recently, and the currency, the Japanese yen, is hugely devalued against the Chinese yuan. Why do we care about that, Mr. Shakespeare? Well, we care about that because at some point at the end of the summer, beginning of the fall or somewhere like that, China is going to have to devalue its currency if it wants to stay relevant. And it's going to have to open up through probably Hong Kong ways of getting money out into dollars and into all sorts of things that's going to be hugely inflationary. It's basically going to allow, we have to understand how big Chinese population is. It's 1.4 billion. Their whole middle class is bigger than the whole population of the US. So if the Chinese turn on the taps to compete, which they'll need to, because they haven't been devaluing their currency like the Japanese have. So at some point, they're going to have to do that. Now, I think it's going to be in the fall. When this happens, we are going to see exactly what we saw last time happen when the Chinese did that, which was in 2015, as far as cryptos is concerned. You see, what's going to happen is all this inflationary money is going to be allowed out. And although America only makes up about 4% of the world's population, it almost doesn't matter that their whole middle class won't be allowed to buy cryptos, and it will make it really difficult. If the Chinese turn on the taps and their money starts coming out all over the place, leaking out through Hong Kong and everything else, then this is going to be very, very good for cryptos. Because money will go into that. They will get their money out of China and put it into cryptos and things like that. They'll also put it into real estate and other things as well, but they'll get their money out of China. Now, China won't care about this, especially things like real estate, because if anything goes wrong out of China, the Chinese government can just clap their hands and say, well, nothing to do with us, i.e. people have their assets grabbed. So what I would like to do, Liz, is I've got a chart on the screen of the Japanese yen compared to the Chinese yuan. And I would like you to grab that chart, please, if you can.
Okay.
But I want you to go out till December this year, please. 20th,
okay, so
20th December.
the 20th, I'm sorry, is that what you said?
Yeah, that'll do. 20th. We'll look at that date for now.
Okay, December 20th, 2023, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right. As we stand today, on the 28th of June, according to this, one Chinese yuan buys 19.91 Japanese yen. What is the ratio now back up in December? Is it higher or lower than 19.91?
Lower.
Right. A lot lower?
No, not by a lot.
Okay. Let's try and eke out a number. 18?
Higher than 18.
Oh, okay. 18.5?
A little bit higher than that.
All right, so it hasn't really moved. Has it stayed in this range then all the time through the end of the summer into fall?
No.
Did at any point then between now and the 20th, did it spike massively higher or massively lower?
No, it did go over 20.
Right. But it didn't come down much.
No.
Right, hold on there. Okay. I'm going to do a separate video on China. But for now, can we just hold that then? And can we get a reading on the Chinese government, please?
Okay.
Have they devalued their currency compared to the Japanese yen?
Right now or in December?
At any point between the end of June and now in December.
Okay.
Has the currency of China been devalued against the yen?
No.
Oh, that's not good. I wasn't
Why?
expecting.
I don't even understand what I'm doing.
That's all right. It's better that way. All right, let's put it out another 6 months, please. Go. In fact, go to this day, 28th of June, 2024.
Okay. Okay, what would you like to know?
Same question. Has the Chinese government devalued the yen, sorry, the yuan against the Japanese yen?
No.
Well, that's not good either. Okay.
Why? I thought that would be a good thing.
No, well, no, it's a bad thing. Well, okay. We want the Chinese government to start printing money, to start loosening the controls, to start trying to compete again. Don't forget, they've got massive unemployment of the youth. There's about 20%. You know, they've got to kickstart the economy. They've got to make their products cheaper. How do they do that? Well, either massive money printing or they devalue against another currency. And it's not the dollar they're worried about. It's the Japanese. They compete against the Japanese for bits and goods and cars and, you know, everything they make, the Japanese can make as well. And the Chinese and the Japanese have been devaluing their currency for a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Chinese have not been doing that. So it makes some products in China more expensive. And the reason we want them to do this is so that all this extra money comes flowing out and then will go into certain entities, one of which is crypto. In 2015, after the Japanese exchange Mt. Gox went down, it was China that led the the rise in Bitcoin price. It was what they did over there that actually started kickstarting, you know, the whole Bitcoin thing again. And we're looking to them to do it. We're looking to them to do it again. Now, they're not doing it to help Bitcoin. They're doing it to help themselves, their people, and everything else. But one of the sidekicks is that, or sidebars, is that it helps assets like Bitcoin. And if it helps Bitcoin, then it helps pretty much every other crypto.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're not going on a money printing binge, that's not good news for us. I was expecting them to be doing that by the end of this year. But here we are in June 2024, and they haven't done it. Let's ask them why they haven't done it. Why haven't they devalued their currency against the Japanese yen?
Because it's not productive. It makes China look weak.
Ah, so this is a political reason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have they allowed trading in Bitcoin now?
No. They don't allow that?
No. Well, they do, and then they don't. I mean, they did in 2015. You know, they do when they want to, and then they don't when they don't want to.
I don't understand. Binance is Chinese.
Yeah, but it doesn't operate in China.
Okay.
Chinese owned, but the guy who owns it, Xiaoping or whatever, he's Canadian. I know he's Chinese, but he's Canadian. Isn't he based in? Yeah. The problem is, after the lockdown and everything, you know, the exports from China are down like they are from everybody, and they have to do something. You know, China is now fully open. There are no more lockdowns. They literally switched them all off overnight. You know, they have to sell things to survive. Lots of things. They have a huge population.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was hoping that some of this, you know, would rub off onto the fact that they would like loosen the monetary policies and let everything go, because it's inflation. What do we need in crypto? It's inflation, isn't it? If the price is $30,000 and we want it to go to 40, that's inflationary. That's what we want. As long as everything else doesn't go up at the same time, then, you know, we're better. The crypto holders are better off. So in other words, if Bitcoin was $30,000 today and next week it went to $60,000, that's doubled. If a loaf of bread is $1 today and $2 and everything else has doubled, then there's no benefit. But if everything else has only gone up 10% and cryptos have gone up 100%, we're in the money, aren't we? And you can say that for anything, you know, house price, anything, any asset. If it doubles or quadruples or does anything quicker than the rate of inflation that's eating away, you know, then we're doing well. And I'm not right. Hold on a minute. I've got right.
Liverpool FC.
No, that's not going to help us.
I thought you wanted me to probe Liverpool.
Yeah.
They're going to lose. They're going to lose.
Lose what?
Whatever they do.
Oh, thank you.
I'm only trying to wind you up.
I know, you're doing well. Right. Let's get Daniel. This is Daniel DiMartino Booth. We have probed her before. Can you grab her, please, and put her out to 20th of December this year, and then push her out to June next year.
Okay. So you want her December and then June?
Yeah, December this year, then June next.
Okay, December 20th, 2023, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What would you like to know?
Has the Fed pivoted and lowered the interest rate, the Fed rate?
Has the Fed pivoted and lowered the interest rate? Only by a teeny tiny little bit.
As compared to June. So the December rate, we're looking at the Fed December rate, is that only just slightly less than the June rate?
Yes.
Right, so they're holding. Right, now put her out to June, please.
Okay, so June, what are we? 28th?
Yeah.
27th, 28th, June 28th. Okay, what would you like to know?
Same question. Compared to June 2023, where is the Fed's funds rate now? Is it lower? Have they pivoted? Is it down?
Yes, but only by a little bit.
Is it lower than it was in December 2023, sorry. Is June 24 lower than December 2023?
No.
Really?
So they're only coming down a little bit. Not good.
No, not good.
I don't understand the whole thing of why they raise rates to slow the spending.
Well, they're saying they're raising rates to stop inflation. Don't forget they create inflation by giving everybody free money.
Yeah.
Don't forget, when the COVID lockdown were on, the American government for 2 years basically gave a lot of people, including people who didn't need it, free money.
Oh, yeah. And
what
loans.
did they do with that free money? Well, a lot of people bought cryptos, they bought houses, they used it to pay all sorts of things. which was then inflationary. That was a stupid thing that they did. When you give people free money, that's highly inflationary. They go and spend it, and whatever they spend it on then goes up in price.
I'm glad these people got free money, because that whole stimulus payment, I don't know what happened to ours. We got one stimulus check, which was very small. We got a letter saying there's more to come. None of us ever got any more here. And you can't even get through to the IRS to ask where it is. So I don't know where our money went, but we didn't get that much. But a lot of people
did,
including
yes, people who didn't need it.
And we're not in that higher bracket. So I don't know. I think a lot of payments went missing. But a lot of businesses, small businesses, took out loans to cover their losses over the period of COVID.
Right. But I mean, the spikes, the US personal savings spiked in 20 and 21 when these stimulus money handouts, call it what you like, were given. Now that money's gone, the savings have gone back down again. Yeah. So that nobody is any better off in real terms. They had a bit of free money, they spent it, now it's back to normal, or back to what it was before. There's no real growth. How do these people in a Keynesian fiat system stimulate growth? They have to drop rates. They have to encourage people. This is why we were at zero bound interest rates for so long. But the seriously rich manipulated that very well. They knew that the cost of money is not zero, so they were borrowing all kinds of money that's pretty much at 0%. Yeah. And whatever they put it in, that asset class seems to have gone up. So, but of course, if Booth is right and they haven't really dropped the rates by this time next year, that means that they're still holding these rates. They're still trying to contain this inflation. That's what they're claiming. But that's not necessarily good for crypto.
Well, it's not good for the average family either.
No, because they end up paying more of their disposable income servicing debt. Yeah.
I would think that it was just on the grocery bill.
Well, yeah, but it's grocery, it's everything. If you've got a car loan, if you've got an auto loan, if you've got a mortgage payment, your payments are going up compared to a year or two ago. You're paying more money on that. So you've got less disposable income. We're talking about 70 to 80% of the entire US population is affected by this. Unfortunately, the people on welfare and the really poor, they don't count. I'm sorry, but these people don't care about those. And the upper echelons, they know how to manipulate this system to their advantage. So whilst everybody is dumping out cryptos and complaining and moaning, they're going around hoovering them and buying them all up. They're waiting for the next pivot. So is it the Fed? Is it the Chinese? I thought it'd be like the Chinese, but it doesn't look like, well, on this current timeline, that's happening. But we'll see. I think the Chinese have got a stronger need to do this. Because they have so many, the population is so huge. And they can't afford to have all this youth unemployment. They can't afford, people are coming out of university. Bear in mind, it's really difficult to get into Chinese university. They're coming out of university in China. And whereas before they'd step into a high paying job, there's no jobs for them. And if everybody feels like that, the communist government in China, it's the last thing they want, a disgruntled youth, because that kind of thing foments revolutions and problems and things like that. And the Chinese government do not want that. So, it's better to just unleash more debt, because essentially that's what we live in, a debt-based system. Create more debt.
Wow. Okay. It'll take me a while to wrap my head around all this, but I feel like we're going to start a very, very slow recovery towards the end of this year, going into next year. And it's just going to creep upwards throughout 2024. And then when we get into 2025, 2026, we're a long way off. I can only give you what I get right now. Obviously, we'll continue to monitor it, but it starts to feel a lot better 25, 26, 27. And then it starts to taper off again 28, 29. So we are going to have 2 or 3 good years. And we have to make the most of that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if there was just trying to work out if there was any good news on the horizon for people this year. You know, forgetting the summer, but in the after, you know. Actually, let's ask Danielle Booth something else. Well, we've still got her. So you're now, is she still out in June 2024?
Yes.
Overall, how was the weather in the US, the continental US, for the winter? Was it really cold?
Yes, it was very cold.
Right. Okay. Because that's picking up on something that Cliff said a while back, that this summer would be really hot and then the winter would be unbearably cold. So we got away with one last year, but this year I don't think we're going to be so lucky.
Well, but that's the US. What about Europe? Has it been? Yeah, it's been cold over there too.
Well, it will be. It's Northern Hemisphere, so yeah. And they'll be ruining the day in Europe, but they said, oh no, we don't want cheap gas from Russia.
People over there are struggling. They are really, really struggling. I don't think we understand. Well, the whole world is struggling, the whole world. But over there, it's on par with a whole different level of struggling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anything more?
No, that's all we need for this one.
Well, everybody's just going to have to sit tight to 25. And I've said that all along. I've been saying that for years. You're going to have to sit tight for 25, 26. What are you doing? Well, it's a buying opportunity, but be careful what you buy. I said the only way people are going to make money in crypto is through staking or day trading. And you have to be a good day trader to make money. I mean, day trading is not for the weak. But yeah, it's not going to be till roughly 2020, the end of 2024, going into 25. So we got another year and a bit of this. It is getting better. It is. It's not all doom and gloom, but it's not where it was. And I think we all want it back to where it was.
Yeah.
Bitcoin will reach those prices again, just not anytime soon. So what does that mean? It means you have more time to buy Bitcoin and get in. So, you know, you have to look at it for the positives as well. I'll stop this one here. You're not very happy, Mr. Shakespeare. I'll stop this one.